Welcome to Dr. Bly's studio. Today I'm going to talk to you about PHSC101. And this video was made for the fall semester of 2020 for the course Physical Science Survey, number 1. And the purpose of the video is to give you a tour of the course in Blackboard. Since this course is entirely web-based and there's no direct contact on a regular basis with the instructor and the students, this video might help you get started and know where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do to pass the course. So, that's enough of that said. Let me share a screen and show you how to get to the course in Blackboard. Let's see, we're going to share this one, I believe, and okay, so that's the home page for New River Community and Technical College. And most of you probably already know that the way to get to the Blackboard course is through this link. Access your email through this link. And it's a good idea to check that email at least once a day, because that's my primary method of communicating with students in the class. Also, to keep track of your grades, you'll want to go to My New River and log in there, and you'll have access to your current grades, any activities upon which you're being graded and your final grade is being based will be posted there. So let's go to rather than click on Blackboard, I've already got the course up, so we're going to go to the course here, and let's see, I'm arranging my screen so I can see things better. I've got the course set up in student preview mode, so you'll see here exactly what you will see as a student when you log into the course. Notice that on this left-hand panel, things are kind of sparse. I like it that way. I like it very simple. So you'll notice that there are several things here. We'll come back to the start here in just a minute. New River email. We've been having trouble with that email lately. The advantage to using it when it works is that the only recipients of the email when you call that up are the members of your class and your instructor. So that way you don't have to search through the entire New River list of employees and students to find the people you want. If they're in your course, they'll be there and nobody else. Let's see, we've got a link to my grades. That may also be another way to find your grades. Okay, so everything starts here. Start here. If you're not there already, click on that and you'll get this. Here's a description of your instructor, just a few things that you might be interested in or you might not. And here is a text of what you need to do in the course. But that's kind of hard to follow for some people, and that's why I'm doing this video. So first thing we come to beyond that is the folder with the syllabus in it. Right? So here's the syllabus, and here's my schedule. So we're going to take a look at the schedule first, because when I call up the syllabus, we're going to look in the syllabus a little more detail. So let's do the schedule first. When you click on it, it comes up in your browser, And if you want to keep a copy of that on your computer and print it out later, in fact, if you want to print it at all, it's best to save it first and then print it. So to do that, you click on this little down arrow, and then you can save the file, or you can open it in your Adobe Acrobat Reader. Everybody needs to have a copy of Adobe Acrobat Reader installed on their computer, because everything I disseminate in the class is in that format, in the PDF file format. All you have to do is go to the Adobe webpage and look for the Acrobat Reader, and it's a free download, it's a free install, it will cost you a penny. And once it's installed, then you'll always be able to open up these files on your computer. So if we do that, okay, so there you are, there's my schedule. And these are the days across the top. The only day that I'm out of pocket, unavailable, is Friday. But Monday through Thursday, I'm available. Office hours I've set aside here. This is today, Wednesday. I had office hours this morning. I don't have any office hours on Thursday because I'm pretty busy that day. But I do have office hours on Monday and Tuesday afternoon. Okay. And how do I manage office hours? Because nobody's in the office these days with the virus response. So in order to contact me during these office hours, you need the Zoom client installed on your computer, your tablet, or your smartphone. And once you start that up and you want to join a meeting, then it's going to ask you for an ID number. And this is the meeting ID number right here. So you put that in, and you can join me in this meeting. I'll already be there on this morning. It was from 9 o'clock till noon. And we'll look at the syllabus in a minute. And the syllabus will have a small paragraph on how to find and install the Zoom client. So we'll get to that in just a minute. The only time that I'm unavailable, absolutely unavailable, is when I'm actually Zooming with this chemistry class here on those 2 days. And even though this is a web-based lab, so this is the lecture part of the course, this is the lab part of the course, the class has agreed to meet during that time so that we can iron out any problems with the lab. Okay, any other time here, all you have to do is contact me for a special meeting, and I'll set up a Zoom meeting, send you an invitation, and then all you have to do then is just click on the invitation link and we'll be connected. Okay, so that's my schedule, and you know what? I will bet you $1 to a dime that you didn't see any of that schedule, because I was sharing the browser and I was not sharing this. Okay. So if you recall what I said, let's put that in context here with the schedule. These are my schedule in this reddish region are my regular hours, and all you have to do is install the Zoom client, click on it, and use this ID, and you can connect with me during these times. Any other time where there's nothing in the blanks, we can schedule a special meeting if you need it for help with a problem in the course. Then in that case, contact me by email or by text message, and that's in the syllabus too. And I'll set up a special meeting and send you an invitation. So then you can click on that invitation and you'll be able to join me for a private meeting there. Okay, so that's the schedule. I'll just leave that up and we'll go back over here and call up the syllabus and look at the syllabus for just a minute. Okay, you can do the same thing with the syllabus. You can download it, open it in Adobe Acrobat Reader and print it if you want to have a hard copy. But I'm going to leave this one in the browser because the browser is being shared and you should be able to see this without my having to share some other screen. Okay, so my contact information is here on the left. There's my office phone number. Of course, I won't be there, but there is an answering service and you can leave a voice message. The voice message is converted to an audio file and attached to an email to me. So I get those messages really quick. If you want to contact me on my cell phone, the best way there is to text. And the first time you text me, on my cell phone, be sure and identify who you are and what class you're in. Then if you use that same phone to text me in the future, you don't have to tell me who you are because all of those texts are grouped and all I have to do is scroll up to the first one and I'll know who it is. But if you contact me by email, this email address, you need to tell me every time who you are, what class you're in, so I don't have to go searching for you. Okay, my office is neither here nor there because I'm not there. But here are my office hours again with the meeting ID. There's some duplication there. Okay, some other information. What's the required text? Well, actually, this is the textbook, but if you, and you have to, buy Cengage Unlimited. You can either buy one semester or you can buy a whole year, depending on whether you're going to take the second semester of this course. Then it might be advantageous to go ahead and buy the whole year. Then when you take it in the spring, you'll already have the account and that will shorten the process of getting logged in and started up with the homework for that course. But if you're only going to take it for one semester, then you can buy the cheaper version. But you have to have Cengage Unlimited. It gives you access to homework, and it also gives you access to an electronic version of the textbook. If you like hard copy, but you don't want to pay the full price, even a used price for the textbook, then Cengage will send you a rental for the cost of shipping, which is about $8. Okay, so there you got your textbook. You got access to the homework because you bought Cengage Unlimited. And when you buy Cengage Unlimited through the bookstore on our website, then you will take the information they give you there, and I'll show you in a few minutes what to do with it to start the homework process, if you haven't already done that. If you have, then you can skip this part and pick me up later. Everybody's going to need a calculator. You have to have a scientific calculator. To have all these functions, I've checked it out. I've looked everywhere for calculators. As long as the package says scientific, it will have every function that you need. And you can get a good scientific calculator for about $10. Don't use a cell phone app for your calculator. You can have a calculator with you during the exam. And I also enable a scientific calculator that's in the lockdown browser. You're going to take your exams using Respondus Monitor lockdown browser. And the browser has been enabled so that it will have built into it a scientific calculator. But if you're used to using one type of calculator, then it makes sense, just bring your calculator to the exam There's no rule against that. In fact, that would be my preference. You're going to need a web camera and a microphone. And most webcams, all that I ever heard of, have a built-in microphone. So only if you want to use a headphone set would you plug it into your laptop and use the camera that's built in, or you can buy a separate webcam. I've got one on, I'm using the laptop now, but on my other computer, I have a webcam. If it'll, I don't know if it'll go that far. Here it is. Let's see, there it is. Right, it's a nice one. Belongs to the school, but it has a built-in microphone. And I'll show you what to do with it later. Of course, they're all USB connected, so you just plug it in, and the Windows, if you use Windows, and I'm not sure how Macs work, but they're probably similar. They'll just locate the drivers that are required to run the equipment and tell you when it's ready. We don't need to spend a lot of time on these, except to say that each of the chapters is accompanied with an exam, and they're in modules, and I'll show you those modules in Blackboard in just a minute. And these are the topics that are covered in each one. Okay, so they're going to be, how many modules? Well, let's see. They're sequential up to 10, and then 11, 12, 13. So there'll be 14 modules with an exam each. So we don't cover a whole lot of material in each exam, which is good for you, because you don't have to get bogged down in 3 or 4 chapters and try to remember all that stuff for one exam. You have an exam for every chapter. So how do we conduct this exam thing? Well, I've created an appendix at the end of the document. Appendix number 2 is for how to install and use Respondus Monitor Lockdown Browser. They have to be installed from a specific website that's only used for New River students and staff and faculty. Right? If you don't use that link, then you won't get the right version for accessing all this material through our website. Now, if you, the exams have deadlines, and I'll show you those in a minute. And normally what I would do is assess a 1% penalty for each day that they're late. But under the circumstances, with this virus thing, I'm suspending penalties. It's in the syllabus, but my verbal, the word to you now is those penalties are suspended. Now, don't just procrastinate to the end of the semester to get it all done, because you won't get it all done. Use the deadlines and the schedule that I'm going to show you to stay paced with the course. If you, all the sciences are this way. If you take them a little bit at a time and gradually absorb them, then you'll remember the stuff. If you wait till the last minute and try to cram, it will not, at 99% chance it will fail, and you will fail. So use the deadlines to pace yourself, but don't worry about being late if you do run a little bit late. Okay, so here's a little blurb on the homework, and I'll show you where that link is when we get into Blackboard further down the line in Blackboard. Show you where that link is to establish your account with Cengage and get started with the web-assigned homework. That material is included in Appendix 1. So Respondus Monitor Lockdown Browser is in Appendix 2, description of how to set that up. And Appendix 1 is, deals with the Cengage WebAssign. Okay, how are the grades assessed? all those 14 exams averaged together account for 80% of your grade. All the homework assignments averaged together, and these are all percentages, right? Each exam is 0 to 100%, and maybe even a little more, because I do include some bonus questions occasionally, so you could get more than 100%. But 80% for the exams, 19% for the homework. And the reason it's 19% is because I split out 1% for the syllabus test. I want you to read the syllabus, and that's why you have a quiz on it. And to add incentive to that, the quiz is worth 1% of your grade. That's a pretty big chunk for just a little bitty quiz. So take it seriously. Okay, so here's the schedule. You notice the days of the week and the dates on the left, and the suggested start time for each of the chapters. So if you start on the 24th, then by the 31st, you should be ready to, you should have your homework done, and you should be ready to take the exam using Lockdown Browser. Now, once you install it, in order to take the exam, you have to start Lockdown Browser. And I'll show you, we have a sample, sort of an exam, to give you, to be sure that your system is set up properly. It's not graded, but it will tell you if you've got any problems that need to be dealt with before you actually get into an exam. That's a hell of a time to find out that your system's not working, is you're in the middle of an exam. So we have this practice, or this sample exam, to weed out any of those problems. But on the day of the exam, by midnight, you should have submitted your homework and completed your exam to stay on schedule. And then the following day, pick up with the next chapter. I've also included indications of important milestones in the course, like here's the Labor Day holiday. Since this is a web-based course, the holiday is irrelevant. So that's why you got a homework and exam due on that day. It may be a holiday, but you don't have to be anywhere. So you're required to finish, well, that's the suggested deadline for that homework and exam for the chapter. So that's the pattern through the whole course, and you have dates to go with it to help you stay paced. They're usually spaced about a week apart. Here's an important date. If you find yourself in real trouble and you don't want to run to the end of the semester and take the chance of getting a failing grade, then this is when you need to withdraw from the course, by this date. I don't want anybody to withdraw, but circumstances are what they are, and sometimes you just can't avoid it. So that's the date, November 6th, to withdraw. Here's your Thanksgiving break, right? So you got several days in here for chapter 17, and you should have a little time during Thanksgiving break to get ready for this exam and finish your homework. It's not like you're going to party for a whole week. You shouldn't. Give thanks that you have the opportunity to get a good education and work on it. Okay, and then following that is just one more chapter after the Thanksgiving break, and that's chapter 18, and there you're finished. Final exams during this week. This class, I don't have a final exam. You just take the chapter exams and we're done with it. And this is the magic date. 14th of December, I have to turn in final grades to the registrar. I don't have any choice. So if you're late on assignments and they're past that date, then I have to average them as zeros. If you procrastinate, if a lot of people procrastinate and they don't turn in Well, it's not so much a problem with the lecture because the homework and the exams are graded for me in Blackboard. So that's not an issue. But if you don't manage to get these things turned in time, say before Friday the 11th is when the course is closed, then you may miss out on some valuable grades. That's why you don't want to procrastinate. Stay paced. Okay. Let's see. Attendance policy. We have to report attendance. Now, how do you do that for a web-based course? If you meet those deadlines for all of your assignments, then I count you as present. If you go past the deadlines, and I usually give you a day or two, if you go a day or two past those deadlines, then I have to report you as absent for that week. So stay paced, and you'll learn the material, you'll pass the exams, you'll do good on the homework, and you'll be counted present all the way through. Because if I report you as absent anytime, you're liable to get a call from Student Services. Bonus or extra credit. I don't give special projects to anybody. If extra credit or bonus problems or work is available, it's available to everybody. I don't play favorites. So if you find yourself in trouble at the end of the semester, you're not going to get an easy project at the end to make up the difference. What that says is you don't know the material. So learn the material, pass the test, and you won't need extra credit. But when it comes along, that's extra. You know, it can help you get the grade you want. Okay. Here's a little blurbs on exam etiquette. The only thing I'll say is that since you're using a Respondus Monitor, which is photographing you and picking up sound while you're taking the exam, you want to be fully clothed. You want to be in an upright position, not reclined in your bed. You don't want to have bright lights in the back of you, because then your face is dark and the camera can't detect your face, and it won't let you proceed with the exam, or it'll give you a warning. Just observe etiquette as if you were actually sitting in class and you were surrounded by other people. You wouldn't want to be sitting there in your pajamas or your underwear. Just think of it that way. How do we communicate outside class? Email. I use email to communicate, and if I have any changes in the course, I have anything that you need to know, I will send it to you by email. Any face-to-face interactions we can have with Zoom meetings, right? We can do that. All other information is provided in Blackboard, and some of it in several different formats, and I'll talk about that later. As you may have guessed, this video is going to run long, so just you can pause it, take a break, come back to it later. Let's see. This other stuff, inclement weather policy and all that other stuff is provided by the school, and I put it in there because they want it there. And then here are your appendices. Right? So the first time you log on to Cengage, you do it from within Blackboard. And I'll show you where that is and talk about it more in a few minutes. And then let's go down to, here we go, Respondus Monitor Lockdown Browser. So in order to do this, you have to be sure that you've got a reliable internet connection. And I know for some people that's problematic, depending on where you live. You need a PC, a laptop, Actually, a tablet might work. It's better if you use a laptop because of the functions. But smartphones definitely will not work for this, for Respondus Monitor and Lockdown Browser. And you need a webcam and a microphone. So if you have a laptop, they're built in. If you have a PC, then you'd have to have a special monitor with a built-in one, or you have to buy a separate webcam. Let's see. So here's your connection. Here's your link right here. This link will allow you to install Respondus Monitor and Lockdown Browser that is tailored, that is specific for New River. If you don't use this one, you won't get the right version. Let's see, so there's some other information. It does a security check first time through. There's a practice test. I'll show you where that is in a minute. And then here's how you take your exam. Let's see. Okay, so that's it for the syllabus. We can go back into Blackboard now. I'll just leave those up. Okay, so if you're familiar with Blackboard, you know it has these breadcrumbs at the top of the page, and you can work yourself back through the course to wherever you came from. So we're going to go back to start here and then go down to what's next past the syllabus. This folder contains support and links for information that students might need. There are various things. The first one I put in here was your contact for Cengage, right? If you really are up against the wall and you can't figure it out, contact Dee Frederick, right? She's a really nice lady. She will help you through it. In fact, when you see this video, it might be too late because she's doing a Zoom meeting. She's already done one today. She'll do one tomorrow morning. I'm going to try to get this posted in time for you to see it ahead of that. But I sent everybody an email telling you when she was going to have this these 1-hour sessions. So if you have specific problems, she'll help you work them out. And if there are more than one student having the same problem, we can be more efficient about it, solve everybody's problem at once. Here's IT, information technology. These are disability services. Here's a copy of the student handbook, or actually it's a link to it. Here's online student orientation, and every student that is registered or accepted in New River has to go through student orientation. There's the Student Success Center. You find a lot of information there. If you're a veteran, there's some things on veterans benefit. Emergency alert system. That's not such a big deal these days. It's primarily used for bad weather, right? And that's more common in the spring semester. Help desk. I understand that help desk is kind of sparsely populated these days, so I don't know if you'll get any information there. IT support. If you send them an email, you're more likely to get a response. If you need, contact me, and I will try to figure out what the problem is and how to fix it. We have a small library. It's on the Greenbrier campus, so I don't know if it'd do many of you any good. Here's Title IX. Everybody knows what Title IX is. It's the anti-discrimination federal law, and there are details about it there. Okay, so now let's back up and go down to beyond that one to the next one. I stuck this note in here just as a reminder the way I've structured the course is the modules that pertain to each exam and consequently to each chapter are SMART modules. In other words, they will only open up in sequence. So you have to finish the module before it. So you have to finish chapter 1 and submit the exam. Once you've done that, then module 2 will open up, and so forth, all the way down the line. So you may be wondering, well, how do I get module 1 to open up? Module 1 is keyed to your syllabus quiz. So when you finish the syllabus quiz, module 1 will open up. And then you just keep going down. And I'll show you those modules in just a second. Here's your practice test for Respondus. That has to be opened in Lockdown Browser. Right? So you have to install the Lockdown Browser first, open it up, and follow the instructions and do the practice test. So once you get into the Lockdown Browser, you'll go into Blackboard from there, and then come down to here and open this up and click on that, and that will start your test. If you try to do it now, and if I hit begin, it'll tell me I can't do it because I have to do it from within the Lockdown Browser. Okay? So there's no damage done. It'll just tell you that you can't do it from there. Okay, so let's back up and go back down. So that's your practice test. Here's your syllabus test. This one you don't need Lockdown Browser. Right? You can do it from here. And many of you already have. But at the recording of this video, many students have already gone that far. Now, how do you get to WebAssign your homework from within Blackboard? That's what this link is for. You just click on that link, and it will ask you to either sign in if you already have an account or to create an account. And at this point, you will need some, let's see, I don't even think you need, well, it's best when you buy Cengage Unlimited from the bookstore, they're going to ask you for an email address. If at all possible, use your New River email address. It really simplifies things if you can do that. You create your account, and then anytime after that, you'll sign in and have access to all the homework. Okay, so let's see, where, oh, that's in a separate tab. Okay, let's go back. Well, where am I? I think I messed up. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to come in Blackboard again and go down. So you're seeing what the instructor sees. Here we go. Okay, so once you've got your homework set up, then you'll go and do the chapter assignments for the ones that are due based on this schedule. So I've just excerpted the schedule from the syllabus and put it here, so you don't have to go looking up the syllabus to find out what the due dates are. Right, so the due date for your syllabus test is 31st of August. That's kind of late, actually, because you can't get into Module 1 until you do the syllabus test. So once you do the syllabus test, if you do it on the 31st of August, then that's the same day that your module is due for Chapter 1. But these are the due dates, right? And notice that Chapter 1 is open because I went into the syllabus test as a student and took the test, submitted it. That means that Module 1 is now open. So let's see what it looks like. All these modules look alike. They have, of course, they're different chapters, but they're the same structure, right? So for the Chapter 1, it's the chapter on measurement. How do scientists measure things? Right? So you're going to have a table of contents over here. So this is everything that's in the module. And then over here, this is what you will be able to do. What you're actually going to learn in this chapter is summarized here. Okay? And then, let's see. Uh-oh. Let's go over here. Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay, it's only going to show you what you've highlighted in the table of contents. So let's go to the PowerPoints next. Okay. PowerPoints, okay, here. All right. That's not what I expected, but it works. This PowerPoint for Chapter 1, you can open with PowerPoint. Now, do you have PowerPoint installed on your computer? If you have Microsoft Office, you do have it. And if you want Microsoft Office and you don't have it, you can get a free copy as an enrolled student at New River. Let's see, did I include that? Hold on a second. Cancel that. Let's go back. Here. Let's go back and see if I did include that. Oh my, I left it out. Okay, I will include a link. That's not there now, but it will be right in this area. A link to Microsoft Office 365. It's available to all our students. All you need is your valid New River email address. So when you go to this link, you go to the Microsoft website, then you use that email address to get your copy of 365 downloaded and installed on your computer. So I better make myself a note. That was an oversight. I apologize. Office 365 link for Physical Science Survey. Okay. All right, once you have that, then you can go to, let's see. No, I got to go back in through here. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. All right, so here are your PowerPoints. Now, these are the PowerPoints that will guide you through. They're sort of an introduction to the chapter. You can follow them along. If there are any embedded animations or videos, you'll be able to see those there. Let's see, cancel that. Here's another format, the PDF file, right? So you have all your slides there in the PDF format. If there are any animations or videos, they won't appear in the PDF. The PDF conversion drops them out. Okay. But I've got another format. This one is in HTML5, which is native language to your browser. So it calls this thing up in your browser, and you can go through each slide, and if there are any embedded videos or animations, you'll get them there. Okay? So that takes you through the chapter, and each chapter is exactly like this. You have your PowerPoints, 3 different flavors. All right, so now what? Well, here's the homework. Since once you get into WebAssign, which is where your homework is, you will have access to every chapter homework that's available. So you only need that one link, and then you just do the homework. You pick the chapter that you're currently in, right? I don't have them segregated and arranged so that they only appear when you've completed something else. It'd be kind of foolish to go ahead to chapter 3 when you're still in chapter 1 and haven't taken the exam yet. But there are also some instructions here. Right? This PowerPoint for WebAssign helps you understand how the WebAssign homework functions. Right? That'll give you some useful information and guidance. Let's see. This one, you should not have to use that class key. This is an old PowerPoint, so don't let that fool you. Once you're into Blackboard and you access WebAssign through Blackboard, then and use your email address that you bought, that you used to buy Cengage Unlimited, you should not need that key. Okay, let's get rid of some of these. Here we go. Okay, now what else is there? I've included the contact information again for D. Frederick. So there are multiple places where you can get it. You can get her contact information in the syllabus, on the main page, and here. Now, what are these reviews? Okay. The reviews are there to help you drill in the chapter. Several ways to learn the information. Simply by reading, working any of the problems that might be in the chapter, that's up to you. Doing the homework, right? That's graded, and that will help you learn the material. And these Blackboard review practice exams. That's what these are. Right? So here you begin, right? And you have all these questions, right? And it's the same format as the exam will be. So it gives you practice without, and you can take this practice over and over and over again as many times as you want. And my students have in the past, they just drill them until they're second nature. And they tell me when they take the exam, it's a piece of cake. Okay, so I didn't answer anything, so I'm going to get a 0 on that one. All right, so let me go back to, let's just do it this way. Go back here. And then that was the Chapter 1 review. Okay, now here's the Chapter 1 exam. You don't need to go into this one except to look at it. Let's see, that's not what I wanted. Hold on a second. Let's go backwards. Close that. Here. All right. Some of the chapters I have additional documents that are there in the folder. And you should be able to, I've enabled the ability to print. So you can print those documents, and they give you extra information that you might need to answer questions in the exam, right? So it's okay. If you see those there, it's fair game. Just print them out, and you can have those there with you while you're taking the exam. But to take the exam, of course, you have to come in through Lockdown Browser. Okay, so that's the way the modules look. Each one of them looks like that. It has PowerPoints first, well, objectives first, PowerPoints, a homework link, chapter review, and exam, which has to be taken by going in through Lockdown Browser. Okay, so let's go back. Let's see. I don't think there's a whole lot else to talk about Blackboard here. scratching my head to see if there's something that I've missed other than the Office 365. Nope, don't think so. So you're being graded upon homework and exams. That's it. That's where your grade's coming from. And I'm just trying to think like a student. That's what I'd want to know. How am I being graded? Right. That's where your grade's coming from, but I would hope that you want to learn the material. In fact, curiosity is your best friend. If you're curious, if you are trying to learn a topic and you're saying, what if, as long as it doesn't distract you, what if, why is this way, why is this that way, then a curious mind is a good thing. That's the way I went through school. I mean, I learned the material and the grades took care of themselves. I mean, occasionally I paid attention to the grades, but for the most part, I just wanted to learn the material. I was curious and wanted to know. Okay, so once you submit the exam for Module 1, then when you come back in here, Module 2 will be open and ready to go. Okay, so I think that's all the damage I can do on this video, and it'll be up ASAP. Good luck.